And now we'll move on to Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood. Sam, welcome. So this report's on page 29. Welcome, Sam.
Good morning. Well, thank you again for the chance to present our update for the month. There's just a couple of things I'll touch on, then I'll hand over to Aaron to talk through a couple of the slides on our presentation, and then we thought we'd be really kind and give you a video to finish off today. First of all, you'll see on page 1 of our report, we've obviously exercised our community board delegations. We've approved the 2 toilets at the Rota Reserve, and Aaron will talk about that shortly. We've put some no stopping restrictions in on Helmore's Lane, and we've obviously looked at our discretionary response fund as well. There's just a couple of things to just note for your attention. Firstly, the Jelly Park Recreation and Sports Centre, that's construction still underway, or the redevelopment there. And a follow-up from our last meeting was that our staff would send around some information to you after Jimmy's request on that timeline. So that's all going to plan. We've obviously got the Jeffreys Reserve replacement suction tank coming up shortly as well, and I hope that's at our meeting on the 20th of August. That alongside some work around the Glendowie Residents Association requests, so we're working through that as well. We've had quite a number of public forums come along and present to us, which has been really good. You'll see under section 6 there's been just a highlight of a couple of them that are there. And we'll touch on the monarch butterfly stuff shortly, which was quite interesting. As I mentioned at our last meeting, we had the Community Service Awards as well, about 2 days before we presented last time. Again, we've just formally put that into the report for you. It was a really fantastic occasion, and we've had really good feedback since, so we're really delighted with that. I might pass over to Aaron now to talk about the lake.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. So the Lake Rutakahatu toilets. So this is a very, it's an increasingly popular reserve. Half of it is what was the former Waimāero Council landfill, which is a large kind of hill area there next to the jet ski lake. About 18 months ago, the issues there were around public kind of misbehaviour in a way. There's a little bit of antisocial behaviour and what have you. This past summer, it's just kind of exploded in popularity on a really nice day because of the recreational value. It's a very high amenity value for the community. With because it's a lake, it's fresh water. The quality is absolutely superb. It's a very safe place for families to go and enjoy a little bit of water and recreation there. So there's a lot of other clubs that use that area. The recreational reserve has now got proposed toilets to be installed. So it's from both a health aspect that the toilet facilities there be improved. Currently there's just portaloos that are there. So there's 2 sites. They're about 700 metres apart. So therefore there needs to be the 2 toilets there. The staff are asking that the toilets be connected to the main services for electricity, water and sewer. Therefore there's a high cost for the civil works construction. We've asked that staff go back and get firmer numbers on those estimates when they came to the board, so hopefully they'll come back soon. In the meantime, we've asked that this coming spring and summer that adequate measures be taken in consideration around toileting facilities and the recreation groups and that type of thing as best as possible.
Yeah, so one of the public forums I mentioned earlier was around monarch butterflies, and you probably think, what on earth is someone coming along to talk about monarch butterflies about? But we had Vicky Steele come along and present to us on a lot of work she's doing in her own capacity around, I guess, their ability to maintain that population in some of our parks. And what she'd done is a bit of research around it, and literally going in the mornings and counting in the evenings as well. And she determined that there's quite a few issues, particularly in Burnside Park, around their ability to be sustainable. So we've referred that to park staff to work with her on. But we just thought we'd bring it to your attention at a really high level. It was quite a fascinating one in terms of rodents and that type of stuff. But you'll see on the left of that presentation up there, they've got these metal sheet bandings that they've tried at Aberley Park, and we're hoping we can do the same at Burnside. So quite a cost-effective measure to sort of mitigate something. But it's just one of those points, I guess, where we've got someone actively involved in the community, giving up their time to do it, and it was kind of adding real value to what we do, so we wanted to bring it to your attention. So Aaron will finish off by talking about the group of the month, and then we can take questions.
So the group of the month, the Christchurch Chinese Church. It was formed in 1989 with about 25 in the congregation. Since then they've grown. The group's now based at 286 Greers Road in Brunwa, so that's opposite Jerry Brownlee's electorate office there. The physical location of the church is actually in the Papanui ward now following the representation review. However, most of the congregation do come from the Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood area, so we do provide a lot of the funding in that regard. The organisation played a significant role in the aftermath of the 2011 earthquake. They took on responsibility of looking after many of the families of the victims in the CTV building who came from overseas. They provided accommodation, food and support. The police also held daily briefings with the families at the church. The photo on the right is actually a displaced boulder from the Port Hills, which local council staff and Sierra staff organised to be delivered to the church. It's now placed on the corner of the site and is a memorial for the victims of the earthquake. And just below that there's also a time capsule buried, and that's due to be lifted, I guess it's called, I think it's October 2039. The church provides a variety of activities and programs, not just to the Chinese community, people of the community, but also a weekly community English language class. There's a weekly older adults education program with about 60 people attending each week. Those ages range from 50 to 90 years old. And there's also a Christmas in the car park, which is a delivery of goodie bags at Christmas time to the local Brunwa community. That's coming up in a video next. There's a variety of youth activities, tuition and peer support. There's a Friday night youth program, a leadership program, basketball group and a high school youth group. A new project that they're starting in this past year is targeted at young people who don't have an interest in sport or recreation but are keen on computers and arts. So they've run a creative media group who are part of this video that we're about to show you. So hopefully I'll click
Christmas in the car park this year was great. We've done it a few years, and it's our chance to take the message, the true message of Christmas, outside the walls of the church, share with our neighbours. And it was just great to see the joy in the kids' faces and their parents, and it was just wonderful this year.
Hello， 大家好！感谢神这次的圣诞晚会平安的举行。我们这次有机会跟小朋友们一起来唱歌跳舞。耶稣说：“让小孩到我的跟前来。”我想最好的方法就是和这帮小朋友们一起来带外面的小朋友一起来到上帝的面前，领受上帝的恩典，上帝祝福。
So what I love about Christmas in the car park is it really brings the merry back into the Christmas, like Merry Christmas, and I think kids really show that. They're so joyful. You see them lining up for food, eating the food, face paint, Batman, Spider-Man, whatever thing goes on, you know, they're really enjoying it. And the bouncy castle, just seeing the joy in the kids' face, I mean, that's Christmas in the car park for me.
Thank you, that's lovely.
Cool. And
Thank
just
you.
to finish off, just picking up on the alcohol seminar that was done last night, the combined board. Very informative. Thank you very much for staff for coming along. It was an excellent seminar. The takeaway for, I feel, our board was, I guess, around the successful objection to the application of an off licence at Trafford Street there last year. So now the community members that were very involved in that process have now gone to other areas of the city around, and helping support other members of the community around that. So my takeaway from the seminar there last night was probably for boards to stay within the 204, section 204 aspect of legislation and support the community. And instead of submitting evidence, or instead of bringing evidence, just make a submission in support of the community. Keeps things relatively cut and dry, and then you support the other communities, the members of the community that are objecting to the submission.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Very full report, and just out of time now.
Great.
So thank you very much indeed. Aaron's going to move it, and Raf's going to second it. Yep.
Brilliant.
I'll put that we received the report. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? Carried. Thank you
Great,
very
thank
much
you.
indeed. The video is stunning.